not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
I'll always be there for you. I'll never betray you. I love you, baby.
I'm at the Uptown on Dykeman, the Eichten, talking that how she only dealt with businessmen. Niggas bagging joints, money off and on the books. The ones who stand firm like ain't nothing shook about them. I doubt them cats waiting for me, you know them niggas. Them big dudes across the street, she said yeah. They from over on Mayfair, bullets from out of nowhere. Sold her stayed in, ducked down. I hit the ground but managed to pull the beast out. This bitch over there with them pointing the chief out. They want beef out here, they gon' get it in the worst way. I'ma show them how black play, roll the dice. Fucking with me's like snake eyes, I break guys. Sit back and watch my cake rise. It's all about the Benjamins, true, that be the motto. Ran out of ammo and started throwing bottles, running, and I ain't looking back for shit. Crooked ass bitch, today I get you back for this.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
That's right.
I'll never betray you. I love you, baby.
Come on.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
Yo, since the last altercation, I've been on the street. See honey at the club every week and I speak. I'ma rock that ass to sleep before I strike. I ain't know the real deal until last night. How one of them brothers was locked with Babe Bro. Used to call my crib from C74. Kick rhymes over the phone for hours. He had the jack. Babe Bro told him, you wanna get money, see black when you get home. We never had chance to get up and wouldn't have. If it's gonna left me hit up, he'd explain how his whole crew was slapping honey. Besides all that, she owed them cats a lot of money. Funny how it's a small world, baby girl. You was about to get fucked with no jail. I'ma sit back and watch this cake finish baking and plan your extermination. Word.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
That's right.
I'll never betray thee. I love you, baby.
Come on.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
That's right.
I'll never betray thee. I love you, baby.
It took a while to peep your style, Miss I being working low profile, single. House in Staten Island, I'm in Manhattan, wow. Them same cats you sent to get me, boo, is on their way to get you, fucking with you. That small time crack dealing nigga, he a bitch too. They gon' bust his shit too, shit's real. You think you gon' set me up and get away scot-free without some type of injury? Nah, kill it. I'ma flip the script on you. Same thing you did to me, I'ma do it to you. Who knew she was the female Rambo? Fill one of they chests with foam soon as he came in the door. Lights was out, smoked all they mans in. In the end, she had to be the last bitch standing. Not for long, the bar for 44 strong. Just like that, she was gone. Now it's over. Assuming I'll go back to my everyday life of a rich millionaire just for rocking the mic. Gotta pause and think about honey, no doubt. And admire how that chick went out. Yeah.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
That's right.
I'll never betray thee. I love you, baby.
Come on.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
That's right.
I'll never betray thee. I love you, baby.
Come on.
I love you, baby. You drive me crazy. I'll never betray thee. I love you,
morning. What's good? How's everybody feeling this morning? Let me know if you can hear me or not. If you can hear me, throw the thumbs up. If you can hear me, hit the like sign. If you can hear me, hit the like sign. Are we okay? Are we okay? Can everybody hear me okay? Listen, I'm outside, short show today. I'm in Cincinnati. I'm in my crib in Cincinnati, and I am here to drop a short Freestyle Friday. Welcome to Wyatt Live 9 a.m. test show. I'm sorry if you can't see me that well. Got some things going on here at the studio. The contractors came in to finish up the things that needed to be done, and they came this morning, and it's at the same time that I do the show. So I said, fuck it, let's just go outside. Let's go outside and do what we do. My kids had some friends stay over last night, so I can't. I have this area in my basement where that's where they share the room. It's a party room. It's a theater type of situation. I usually could go down there and do the show, but they all slept down there on these blow up beds and all this old shit. So I find myself outside this morning. Here's the thing. It's actually starting to rain. I didn't realize it was going to rain this quickly. They told me that it was going to rain around noon, but I'm getting a little rain out here. So this show may get cut. If you look behind me, I mean, I'm on my little deck, right? But there's rain coming in and I don't want my equipment to get wet. But let's get as much in as we possibly can. Welcome to Wyatt Live 9 a.m. the test show. Thanks for coming in this morning. I know it looked kind of funny out here, but we're going to do what we do. Let's see here. I want to say this before we get out of here. If we crash early, it's my apologies. It's just the weather and, it's just a bad day. But today is Friday. It's Friday, beautiful people. Today is Friday. So go out and enjoy your weekends. Not only everyone enjoy your weekends, ladies, enjoy your weekends. All the mothers, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you. Ooh, I can feel the rain starting to touch me a little bit. Ooh, I can feel it. What can I say real fast before I know we just got here, but I'm just saying, happy Mother's Day to everyone. But I'm just saying, I can't let my equipment and stuff get wet out here. I'm not taking you to my bedroom. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking you to any other portions of my home. I'm not doing it. I learned my lesson. We made it, and my last daughter graduates tonight. Congratulations, Roz. I did see that on your page. Congratulations. Let me just say this. The world is going to change. The world is changing now. The world is changing now. I'm going to say this shit because it's very important. It's on my heart. I love to hear success stories of kids graduating from school, high school, college, and all of that. The world is changing. For all of y'all who may have missed the boat of the change, don't ruin it for your kids. Don't ruin it for your children. Let your children go off and be great. In the indoctrination of what they, be careful. You got to work harder than them. No, you got to work harder than everyone. You got to work harder than everybody. You got to work harder than everybody. Don't be specific on who you got to work harder than. You got to work harder than everybody and keep it that way. Don't have your kids out here thinking that they got to be better than one particular people. No, you got to be better than everyone. I want to say something before I crash up out of here. Sorry, I got a message on my Twitter. No, I can't sit at the pool because I don't sit at the pool when there's lightning and rain. Okay, I was taught early in age in the Boys and Girls Club, you don't sit at swimming pools when it's raining outside and thunder is in the air. You don't do that because lightning can strike the water. So I stay far away. Matter of fact, I cover mine when the rain comes in. Let me say something to you guys before I peace everybody out this wonderful Friday morning. let me say this. I had some debates last week and early this week in regards to the young man. Right, Rod. Somebody trying to get me to sit at the swimming pool so I can get my ass lit up. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let me just say this to you guys. I had some debates during the week. Man, if it rained like this, we might be okay. It's coming straight down, so I'm covered. We might be okay. I may have to move over a little bit, but we might be okay this morning, fam. As long as I don't hear thunder and shit, we cool. And as long as y'all can look at me this way, I know you can't see my face that well, but it's me. I don't have a prompt or a dummy, a crash dummy up here pretending to be me. But let me say this. There was some debates going on as far as the situation in New York City where the gentleman, the Michael Jackson impersonator, got choked out for being belligerent. Kind of, I don't like calling mentally challenged people crazy, but he was lightweight being crazy on the train, on the subway. We don't live in New York, so you don't hear about the everyday to day occurrences on the train. You don't hear about the people that get mugged out, purses swiped, beat up on the trains. You don't hear about them stories. CNN sure in the hell ain't gonna show you. MSNBC ain't gonna talk about it. None of these mainstream medias talk about it, except those that live in New York, Chicago, and some of those larger cities. Just like in the city of Cincinnati here, we hear about the shit that's going on, but we only hear about probably 7 to 10% of the crime that happens in our city each night. You don't hear about every 911 call. You don't hear about every police report that's gone into the system. You don't hear about every domestic violence call. The domestic violence docket is full every morning. Courtroom A, down at the Justice Center. But you don't hear about that shit on the news. You don't hear about it on the news because it's not that important to everyone. They only want juicy stories. But the truth of the matter is crime happens all day, everywhere. So stop focusing on the ones they put in your face. Just know it's coming from me. Crime happens every day, every place, everywhere. Here's my thing. I told Fame Rothstein, I told Drop, I told several others, I said, I am not going to have a word to say about that situation until I get some kind of fact on what actually happened. I want to hear some people testify to what happened. Oh, that rain is hitting me, guys. I feel it. I feel the rain. The wind is blowing it at me. Let me just say this. Just because this man, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the Marine has been charged now. The Marine has been charged with the murder of this guy. And I'm going to tell you right now, my opinion is this. I don't know if the Marine is guilty or non-guilty of killing this young man. But what I will say is I don't like how he got prosecuted, how this prosecution is going down. You don't take it to a grand jury. You don't take it to a grand jury. What are you afraid of, Alan? What are you afraid of? Why won't you take it to a grand jury? You know you can still get an indictment. Why won't you take it to a grand jury? Are you afraid that the grand jury might throw it out because of the testimony of everyone? Or are you just trying to protect your ass? You're trying to get the black people off the streets of New York. You're trying to get all the chaos agents off the street of New York. So what you're going to do is the same thing you did with the owner of the Bugatti. The owner of the store, the old 80-year-old man that got attacked on camera. And he stabbed that young man and he killed him protecting himself. The only reason, see, black folks, y'all got to understand. It's going to be another. You're going to be disappointed when this man, this Marine gets off. You're going to say he got off on murder when in fact there's a strong possibility that he had no no business being even charged with murder, and you being disappointed by someone that's virtual signaling to you once again, faking it. He faking it. This is why I told everyone, you sure that y'all want Fanon Rucker to be prosecutor? I wanted him to be prosecutor, but I said it to his face right on the Wyatt Live show. I said, bro, you do realize that people are going to expect you to prosecute people, even when you know there should be no prosecution here. I said the pressure on you is going to be tremendous. People are going to they're going to want you to prosecute people that you know deep down inside you shouldn't be prosecuting. He said, I know. I said, you ready for that pressure? He said, yeah. I said, okay. Here's a perfect example. The DA of New York is only prosecuting this man because he's white and it was a black man that got choked out. That's the only reason. This type of shit that we talking about right now in this case happens every day in America. Happens every day. Crime happens every day. Crazy people go off on people every day. Crazy people get killed or whatever every day. The only reason why this particular one is a subject matter of America right now is because it's in the high status space of New York, and it's because a white man choked out a black guy. I do not see. Okay. Let me ask you this. Here's Fame. I agree. Nobody should be able to kill somebody for no reason. I agree. You should never be able to kill somebody for no reason. How can I deny that? Am I denying that you should be able to kill somebody for no reason? Who heard me say that? Who heard me say that? So nobody can create or can think of a reason why this young man got held down by 3 grown-ass men after making the statements that he made, after not living in, y'all don't live in New York. You don't see what these people do on subways. There's Fame. Fame says, sorry, Wyatt, you don't get to kill people just because they make you uncomfortable. You're right. You're right. But you're wrong if you feel like you can't defend yourself when someone threatens your life. Someone that you clearly see that is not in the right frame of mind. If you're gonna wait for them to throw the first punch, okay, what color casket you want, bro? If you're waiting for people to throw the first punch, you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble. But let's be honest. The only reason why this man is being prosecuted, it's not because he choked that young man out and didn't have reason to. The only reason is because of the pressure that Perm in a Suit called, AOC called. These are the same regular chaos agents. This prosecutor knows that he has no case. That's why he took so long. Y'all can disagree with me, agree with me, but I still love you. I still got love for you, even though I disagree with what y'all position is. I am not going to just agree with somebody because we the same color. That ain't gonna never happen. And I ain't gonna disagree with somebody because we the opposite color. That ain't gonna never happen. I'm a grown-ass man. Fame, I ain't got nothing but love for you. Roz, I ain't got nothing but love for y'all. Y'all can stay on the same team of what y'all talking about, and we'll agree on another topic another day. But today, I clearly understand what this is all about. And this is the same dangling carrot that we always fall for. Do you really think that those cops in the Breonna Taylor case was going to get prosecuted? Don't you think that was a fake ass put it in front of a grand jury? Don't you think there was information that we didn't know about? Ross says if he was trained to kill, he should have been trained to detain. First of all, let me just say this. He was trained to kill in his capacity of a Marine. He was not on a battlefield that day. He was a civilian. He was a civilian. A civilian was being threatened. He wasn't on the battlefield. You can't call that a crime of war. He was a civilian. And see, here's what happened. The unaffected always got the most to say about the people that get affected the most. Keep in mind when I tell y'all that. I told y'all I got rushed. I got rushed by somebody who put me and my family, I felt in danger. Have you ever been in that position? Have you ever been in a position where you felt like you had to defend yourself? Here's my other question to you. Why did it take 3 men to hold this young man down if he wasn't being so belligerent and crazy? Somebody explain that to me. Why? Let me go to the phone lines. I'm trying to get as much in as I possibly can this morning. My stuff is actually getting wet, so I'm going to do the best I can. Good morning, caller. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can, Fame. I'm sorry, brother. Can you? I'm sorry, man. My connection and stuff is a little bad. I'm in a bad spot right now, and I'm getting a little wet right now. But go ahead, Fame. Get as much in as we possibly can. If you get disconnected, it's my fault, probably.
No, I understand. Hey, again, you don't get to just kill somebody just because you're a little uncomfortable with their behavior.
Okay.
How do we know that the Marine ain't the crazy one?
Yeah, we don't. It'll all come out in the wash. You're right.
That's just aloof, too.
That's a strong possibility. That's a possibility. I don't think it's a strong possibility, but it's a possibility. Because I didn't
come from the military, whether they went to war or not, they come out on some other stuff.
That's possible too.
Some of them come out disciplined and better for it, and some people come out real jacked up mentally.
Yes, they do. I guess the other 2 guys that was holding the young man down were crazies too. So now we got 3 crazies on top of 1 crazy. That's what you're saying, right?
No, because as you see, they got out the camera and everything. Like, okay, he got him. Oh, chokehold. They just didn't try to stop him because they probably realized he was crazy.
Okay, okay. That's cool. That's cool. That's your opinion.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I mean, I don't know what you're saying. I hear you.
All I said was put that to the course and see what happens. You don't get to just kill somebody just because.
So let me ask you this, Fame.
I got my wish.
Yes. Let me ask you this, Fame. Why didn't he take it to a grand jury if he's doing what's right?
I don't know.
I know. I can tell you. Because he's just trying to please the crowd.
Well, sometimes that's a part of politics and law.
Yeah, well, that ain't making it. But are you virtual? You falling for that virtual signal right there? Are you? Fame. I'm saying,
I'm not falling for that virtual signal, but I did realize, it was the same thing. Like I heard this in the O.J. Simpson trial way back in 1994.
Okay.
That if anything, he'll be convicted, not because of race, but because of the simple fact that a woman is not allowed to die and nobody get charged with it and nobody get convicted of. Don't let women die like that.
So you think O.J. Simpson got
kind of scared of?
Do you think O.J. Simpson got got charged with murder because a woman died?
Well, it was the perfect storm. He might have been guilty, but they went out of their way to make sure he would look guilty when they didn't have to. That was just a perfect storm. Just everything that could go wrong and good in law enforcement came to, met up at that case.
Okay, well, let's get back to the New York thing, bro, because
Yeah.
I think what we doing is we falling for the banana in the tailpipe again, because if he really wanted to do the right thing, he would follow the normal procedures, and that would be he would take it to a grand jury. He wouldn't just charge this man just to settle everybody down, because what he's doing is setting them up for a big failure. He did the same thing in the Bugatti, in the situation with the old man with the store. He charged that old man with murder, an 80-year-old man, where a young boy over a damn 80, what's them cards, them welfare cards, it wouldn't accept. So he charged the old man. The old man defended himself and stabbed that kid in the neck with a pencil or something. And this district attorney, he's going to charge this old man with murder when it was clearly self-defense. And the only reason why he charged him with murder, Fame, is because everybody was out in the streets, and AOC and not Jesse Jackson, but Perm in the suit, Al Sharpton and all them was putting pressure on him again. Why do we want somebody weak? Why do we want? Sorry.
That's part of it.
No, that was it, bro. That was it. The
No,
crime,
that's part
if you
of
want to
it.
call it a
As a
crime,
politician, you know, and
Fame,
you know,
he's not a
and a person
politician.
that
He's
makes
a district
decisions like that.
Fame,
You know, you got to
Fame,
make
Fame,
unpopular decisions
Fame,
and popular
Fame.
ones.
He's a district attorney, not a politician. Now, if we want to turn our district attorneys into politicians, we keep on voting people like that in. You're not going to get civil justice. You're not going to get the right justice. And we're going to have a whole lot of different shit going on in this country than what we already seen.
Well, it's no different than the classism that you say. You know, you say it ain't about race anymore; it's about classism. This is a clearly classless and classist murder.
How can you say that, Fame? You know no facts of the case. You know absolutely
I
no. The only fact you
I
know.
know that Michael Jackson had a little issue, you know, but he's not being tried on that today.
Let me
He's being
ask you
tried
something,
on,
Fame. Let me ask you something, Fame. Hold on. Since you know he's been charged. You brought that up, not me. What was 5 of his charges that he's been charged with and that he faced in court? Name 5 of them. Out of the 40. Out of the 44, name 5 of them.
I believe there were 5 assaults.
Okay, give me just 3. Give me 3 cases because the odds and the ums tell me you don't know.
No, the assault. We call some type of theft or whatever, and there's also a menacing or something like that.
Do you know that this young man was in the top 50 of the most threatening on the subways of New York? Do you know he was on that list?
Okay.
You didn't know that, did you?
No, I did not.
That's a fact.
I don't think that
Fame.
matters.
It does matter. Wait a minute, Fame. You don't think that a person that's on the list of the most assaulting, he's on a list of 50th most to worry about assaulting, causing assault on trains of New York. You don't think it's relevant that he's on the top 50? The list
you know
that New York.
Did you know you're talking to a person right now on the phone with a person who has the same designation similarly in another state?
Who, you?
Yes.
So you didn't did some crazy shit on the trains before?
No, I made some open records requests, and the government thought I was trying to circumvent the government.
Do you have 44 charges in the court that is relevant relevant to what you're talking about right now? Because I can tell you 5. I can give you 10 accounts of this man entering the court system on assault charges of people on the train, and it's been people under the age of 18 that he's assaulted.
Just because you enter the courthouse doesn't mean you have to enter the morgue.
Excuse me?
This guy did not. Just because you enter the courthouse doesn't mean you have to enter the morgue.
Okay, you're right.
Is not. None of these came with a death penalty.
Well, okay? How do you know
this
that,
guy,
Fame?
The Marine, whether he's white or not, was too damn aggressive.
How do you know that, Fame? How do you know that
because he killed a guy.
Wait a minute. What I'm asking you is, how do you know that the aggression didn't start from the one who died? Why do y'all think
because the other guys got out of the way once they seen that he had it under control?
So you seen a video where all 3 of the men were no longer touching this young man. It was just the one man choking him out. You seen that video?
Yeah, I ain't going down with you. That's probably what they thinking. Like,
Fame, I must have missed that portion of that video because the whole time they showed the video, I seen 3 men on top of this young man.
Yeah, then 2 of them got out of the way. Well, at least they're out of the picture. But the fact remains, you know, when you start trumping classism, you know, you lose the humanity.
Excuse me?
When you start talking about, you know, classism and abiding by it, you lose humanity. You're losing a bout with humanity. You know, again, this is a young man or whatever he was, a Michael Jackson impersonator, small guy that didn't have to die that day. under those circumstances.
So, Fame, I'm asking you this question. You do know that people were on the train that he said all this stuff to, and that he was threatening. You know they were on the train, and you know that the police are going to interview those folks, and you know that the district attorney is going to get all that information. All of those isolated interviews, they get that information. That's the information that you're supposed to gather and take to a grand jury. Why is he skipping that process?
Again, I don't know his political motivations.
He's not a political figure, Fame. He's a district attorney. You're saying this as
I'm answering it, sir.
But you just asked it wrong. You said the wrong thing. You said he's political. Don't go.
I didn't answer, just like you said about Trump the other night. I didn't answer it the way you wanted
but
me
you,
to.
You asked.
I'm with humanity. I'm with humanity.
This is not a matter of this. This is a matter of law. This is
the crazy Marine. He's the one that's crazy.
Okay. How you know that? What's his record?
Because he's been indoctrinated.
Oh, okay. We making up shit now.
By a company whose mission statement is "kill the enemy."
Okay. All right. Okay. So now, Fame, can
again,
we get to?
I answered it the way you didn't want me to.
No. That's not it. That's not it, Fame. You can't answer. I asked you a lawful question, and you put in something different from law. You can't do that. You can't compare apples and oranges. I asked you an orange question. Give me an orange answer.
Listen here, Roman Israel Esquire. Okay, let me tell you, I'm with humanity.
Okay,
I don't know how else I can say it for you.
Okay, then let me give you a humanity answer. Can I help you out? Instead of blaming the Marine,
I'm not asking any questions.
Okay, but I'm helping your statement out. I'm helping you out based on your statement. Let me give you a
I don't need no more fake friends.
Oh, okay. Well,
you know I'll say help. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. What I need is humanity. Then what I don't need is for crazy, aggressive Marines who work for a company whose mission statement is "kill the enemy." You know, I don't need them choking diminutive Michael Jackson impersonators who are a little bit aloof just because you're uncomfortable with them. Maybe because you were in the Marines, you were uncomfortable with him because you don't like aggression. Okay. Because your mission statement is "kill the enemy."
Okay. All right. So can I give you my humane? Can
I? You know, I'm sure somebody want to get in, so I'll listen on the other side.
Okay. Appreciate you, Fame. Thanks, brother. Nothing but love over here.
Appreciate you, bro. Be safe.
You too, man. Have a good weekend. That was Fame. I hear some people that say they agree with him and all that, and that's cool. I ain't got nothing but love for Fame. I got love for y'all. Tracy from Cincinnati, I see y'all all on the Fame train. That's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. Let's compare the law. Fame brought up humanity. I'm arguing legal. I'm arguing law. Fame is saying humanity. Humanity to me is this. All y'all chaos agents that say what you say right now about this situation and that the Marine is crazy and this is crazy. Once again, somebody out here on the streets that's causing harm to somebody else is all up in somebody else's space and causing their humanity to be in turmoil. Let me ask y'all this, since y'all so much on humanity. Where's the humanity in helping this kid? He didn't have 44 charges in the courts. He didn't have multiple charges of assaulting people on these trains. First of all, he probably should have never even been on that train. When you're on the top 50 of assault perpetrated, when you are on the top list, you're on a list of 50 people that are dangerous on our trains of New York, he probably had no business on that train. How many of you knew he was on that list? Second of all, he's assaulted kids on the train, he's assaulted adults on the train, and he's faced those charges. Third, humanity. Where was the humanity in somebody helping this young man before he got to the wrong people to assault on a train? Why do we always become reactive instead of proactive? Why are we talking about what somebody did to this young man when he has done multiple on top of multiple things to other people? I'm just trying to understand. Y'all the same people, you the same person that'll sit back and won't say shit about these young 15 and 16-year-olds shooting up sweet 16 parties. If you go get them Before they start putting guns in their hands, we don't have to worry about them shooting up 16 parties, sweet 16 parties. That's humanity. Humanity starts before a situation even happens. Humanity? Humanity starts in the home. Humanity was the village that we took. Mama Birch and them smacking me in my damn head over at the damn at the laundromat when she seen me doing some foul shit. So I didn't grow up wanting to put hands on people because my neighborhood made sure that I didn't grow up to be that way. Humanity starts before 44 charges. Where was this young man's family? Maybe putting him in a home. Where were AOC and where's Al Sharpton and AOC and all that trying to find a place for these people to go before they go out and assault or threaten the wrong person? I don't know if y'all know this or not, but everybody's not threatable. Everybody's not threatable. You can't just threaten everybody. You can't just threaten everybody. And I'm just saying it, and I'm going to say it on the record, and I'm just going to say what I got to say. Tracy says, where was the court's heads allowing him to be out on the street? There you go. Why don't you ask the same prosecutor why this young man been walking on the streets and been on the top 50 list of not being on the subways? Why don't you ask the same man that's prosecuting him now, that's prosecuting the Marine, why was this guy who got killed, you don't find yourself partially responsible that this young man been out here assaulting people and he's not in jail somewhere or in some home being treated right, for his mental or whatever the hell he got going on? This is what happened. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say jails are overcrowded, the mental homes aren't being, the system is wrong. But yet when the system put these people where they belong, then we using the system to over incarcerate black people, over incarcerate people. What is it going to be, Chaos Agents? Please explain to me. Do we want these people treated, or do we want to say, hey, y'all just fucking with these people? You just messing with these people. These people ain't hurting nobody. They ain't hurting nobody. Leave them alone. Let them go to jail. All he stole was a damn pair of pliers at the Home Depot. All he did was do this. All he did was that. He ain't got to be in jail. Jail ain't a place for him. Now they running the streets and assaulting the wrong people. Saying I killed you to the wrong person. You can't do that. Well, just for the record, let me let y'all know that my kids' friends, it look like they all about to get up out of here. Y'all might not agree with me on this one, man, but y'all missing a huge point of what's going on. You're missing a real big point of something that's going on. I see some shit going on here that it's not adding up. Where y'all going? Hey. Damn. Oh, whoever that was on the phone call back. I missed someone. I missed a phone call. Phone caller, please call back. The rain is calming down and I'm able to talk a little longer than I thought I was going to talk this morning. But I think we're missing a big part of this situation that a lot of people that you may not be aware of. And part of it is if the prosecutor is doing the right thing, then why don't he take the proper procedure? Why don't he take the right steps? And that is take all the information gathered from that day, take it to the grand jury, let them see it. That's the proper procedure. But no, he just gonna do what he gonna do because all he trying to do is satisfy people who think that this was unjust killing. He did the same thing with the damn Bugatti, the same thing with the store killer. That old man had no business in handcuffs. The only reason why they wanted him prosecuted was because he was some of another nationality. That's the only reason. This young man came in there and put hands on that old man because his debit card, his what are them debit cards? You know, the welfare card didn't work. The fuck? That don't give him the reason to be pushing up on this old man. How could people who don't see crime every day, don't get bothered by crime every day, don't get they're not touched by the crime every day? How could y'all judge people that get touched by crime? I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. And then we mad and we don't have the right information about what happened that day. We just know that somebody died. That's the only fact that we know. Thanks, McConnell, the EBT card. This young man's girlfriend's EBT card didn't work. So he feel like he can get behind the corner and rush this old man. And then when something happened to him, everybody want to jump on the old man like, oh, the old man didn't have to kill him. So an 80-year-old old man fighting a 25-year-old boy, you trying to tell me the old man didn't have no right to defend himself? And this is the same prosecutor that prosecutes this old man for defending himself? When crime going crazy like that, when you got people out here that put their hands on you? What was it? A month ago, I told y'all what just happened to me? That crazy ass dude rushed me when I'm with my family, and I ain't supposed to defend myself. I ain't supposed to defend my family. Fuck out of here. See, I see the shit in court all the time. I hear about it. I watch it. If you're not being affected, you really shouldn't say much about this. If ain't nobody ever stepped in your space and threatened you when you with your family, you really shouldn't have much to say, especially if you have no facts, because you don't know that ether. You don't know the ether that run through people's body when somebody, has anybody, by the show of hands, have you ever had a gun pointed in your face? By the show of hands, has anybody that you know would do it ever told you right to your face, I will kill your ass? Have you ever had that? Do you know what that feels like? Do you know that the blood in your body completely stops and your body go cold and you go numb? Have you ever had that threat put on you? How does that feel? How does that feel? How does it feel to be threatened? It don't feel good. And I don't mean it. I don't mean this to be facetious. I'm telling you, I've had a gun pointed. I couldn't do anything about it. I've had a gun pointed in my face and I couldn't do anything about it. But I let him jump that shit off. I let him jump that off. I let him get one out on me. The guy a month ago in Atlanta, the homeless man who launched at my daughter. So y'all telling me, even though he didn't have a weapon, if I could have put my hands on him, y'all saying I didn't have no, like, y'all would be against me right now if I would have put my hands on that dude and did something and he died? And then come to find out this man been the same dude in Atlanta who jumped at me and my family. You telling me that if I'm home right now and we talking about this, y'all would feel like I unjustified killed this man. I didn't have to kill him. But then you find out he had 44 cases in the courts, 27 of them of assaults. And I'm going to tell you something that's even crazier than what I'm going to tell you something right now. There's a bunch of y'all you're not being honest. You don't have to be honest with me. You're not being honest with yourself, and you're not being honest with the people that's paying attention to you right now. You're not being honest, because everybody in the world knows if this white man would have choked out another white man, you wouldn't have this type of energy for this situation right now. You wouldn't even give a fuck. You wouldn't even care. It wouldn't even be a problem. Let me tell you, the dude that rushed me and my family in Atlanta a month ago, he was white. If I would have killed his ass, y'all would have been like, yeah, hell yeah, bro. I'd have did the same shit. If he was black, y'all might have been like, damn, bro, why you do the brother like that? You mean the same little brothers that's out here shooting up 16-year-old parties? Here, let me show you this. You talking about, see, y'all too much on this color shit. Y'all too much on this color shit. Let me put that up there once again. It wasn't white boys that did her in. It was 16, 17, and 18-year-old boys and one 14-year-old. Shot her in cold blood. 24-year-old sister on the police department wasn't even on duty when she got shot and killed. Just graduated from college. I got a 22-year-old daughter. She reminds me of my daughter. Y'all keep on talking that bullshit if you want to. You know what she was probably doing? Trying to talk them down. Come on, y'all. Y'all ain't got to do all this shit. She had to exchange gunfire with children. These people out here real. These people that are terrifying people and running amok on people, it's real shit out here. It's real shit out here. And then you want to have a decision or a judgment on somebody before you even really know what happened. So let me ask you, this lady, this officer, she had no business defending herself either. She had no business defending herself. Let me see if I had a story. Let me see. Yeah, let's do this. Since I got a little bit of time today, the rain's not running me out. Let me put a story up in your face for a second. Let me see. Where is it? Here it is. Check this story out. Check this story out.
Now charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of Chicago police officer Ariana Preston. Police say the group had been on a crime spree before killing the officer. Fox 32's Joni Lum joins us live from police headquarters with the latest. Joni?
Hello, Sylvia. Investigators had to work through their sorrow, and they say that community involvement helped them to make arrests and stop a crime spree that victimized women alone before it ended with the fatal shooting of Officer Preston.
Family, I want y'all to keep in mind that these particular individuals had been robbing women all night. Specifically women all night. That's why this sister got caught up in it. Women all night.
The offenders are teens: 19-year-old Travell Breland, 19-year-old Joseph Brooks, 18-year-old Jaquan Buchanan, and a 16-year-old male. Police say at least two of them shot at Officer Ariana Preston when she was returning home from work at 1:42 a.m. Saturday. Police say the four offenders were traveling in a stolen red Kia, and they were looking for people to victimize. They allegedly committed multiple crimes before ambushing Officer Preston.
As Officer Preston was returning home from her tour of duty early Saturday morning, four offenders pulled up in a stolen vehicle. The offenders quickly exited the vehicle and ran towards Officer Preston while armed. An offender fired at Officer Preston, who returned fire. The offenders continued to shoot Officer Preston, and offenders stole Officer Preston's weapon before all offenders fled the scene in a stolen vehicle.
Her last arrest that evening, even the arrestee, once finding out the news of what had happened, she wept. But that speaks to credit of Officer Preston.
Commander Pendarvis says that the charges put police on a path to heal from the loss of this star officer if they can ever get over their grief. The officer's weapon was stolen. It has not been recovered. That stolen car was set on fire, and those four offenders are going to be in bond court at this hour. Reporting live at police headquarters, I'm Joni Lum. Back to you.
All right. Yeah. How you think that young lady's mother feeling right now? I got a 22-year-old daughter. That lady just graduated from college. My baby just about to graduate from college. Them young men didn't give a shit if she was black, if she was white. They didn't give a shit. They've been robbing women all night, all day. Didn't give a shit. Didn't care. With the temperature of the streets being what it is, like it is right now, who's going to wait for somebody to throw the first punch? You telling me with the environment we live in right now, you going to let somebody tell you, I'm going to kill you, and I don't care if I go to jail. I don't care what's going on. I can do the time, and I don't even care if I die, damn it. Give it up. Good evening, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
My brother, how you be, man? This is McCabe Bill from D.C.
D.C., what's going on, McCav? How you doing, brother?
I'm peaceful, man. I'm peaceful, holding on with both hands, man.
Wait a minute, you stole that from me. Holding on with both hands, brother. I've been saying that since I was 13 years old.
Hey, Wyatt, I'll be 62 in July, so you might have got it from me.
Ah, that's true.
You know, it's all a vibration.
Okay, all right, that's true, brother. I probably stole it from you. What's good with you though, man? What's happening?
Now, but check this out. I was reluctant to call you because I think this might turn into a debate, but
that's cool.
You know, I'm gonna try my best to stick to the subject.
Okay.
But first thing I want to ask you, I put it in the chat.
Okay.
But obviously you didn't recognize it, so you didn't comment on it, which I was surprised.
My apologies, bro. The chat runs so fast, I can't see it all.
You seem to keep talking about these chaos agents.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time that I heard you use that term as much as you did on one topic. And I'm trying to figure out, is this coming from the obvious that there's a lot of those like myself that don't agree with your views on this topic?
No, I don't call you, meaning like because you don't agree with me, I call you a chaos agent on this?
I say this is the first time I heard you use that as much on one topic.
How many times
I heard you say about 4 or 5 times since I've been listening to
today?
This broadcast. Huh?
Today?
Today.
I've said chaos agents 4 or 5 times. Have I, y'all?
Yeah. I heard it that many times.
Really? Okay, well, maybe I say it subconsciously. I don't know. But I think that when I said chaos agent earlier in the program, I said something about like Al Sharpton and them being chaos agents because they called the district attorney to make him make a move on this particular crime, but I don't hear him calling them to make moves on certain other crimes that's happening to us in the neighborhoods. I call that.
Well, you know, even that example, man, it's kind of far fetched when you talk about this dude, him, Al Sharpton, and this boy, all these, man. I call them bloodsuckers to the conditions and the situations, man, that's going on in our communities. They get rich off or get notoriety or whatever they seeking fame and fortune off of this sad shit that we experiencing as a race of people. I agree with you that they're a chaos agent.
But Matt, that's what I mean. A chaos agent is. I don't think I call anybody else. I don't classify people that disagree with me chaos agents. I call a chaos agent of people who live off of chaos, money and profit off of it, or only have something to say when you know.
So we on the same page with that.
Absolutely. So I'm trying to figure out how I say. Did I really say? I mean, honestly, bro, did I say chaos agent like 4 or 5 times?
I heard it more than twice.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not saying I didn't mean like. Look, I don't call Fame a chaos agent. I say he do some chaos agent shit, but he's not a full-time chaos agent. Fame Rothstein is not. He might have every once in a while when we disagree, he be on some chaos agent bullshit sometime, and that's in fun. I know he's not a chaos agent. Tracy from Cincinnati, who is Tracy Dillingham on Facebook, she's not a chaos agent, but I'll say in fun, she's saying some chaos agent shit.
Right, I get that. That's kind of like a personal, a humorous.
With them.
From you to them.
Yeah,
I get that.
Exactly.
But okay, so now that that's cleared up. So let me ask you this. So you don't think that other measures could have been taken by this by the boy that killed the boy?
The
you
Marine.
Think that he could have did something different?
I don't know. That's been my whole thing, man. I really don't know. And nobody really does. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we don't have the information. If we have the proper information, we can make the proper judgment. But what tells me something is wrong here, brother, is there's a process in law that's being skipped, and that troubles me. When this DA jumps to something that oversees that overlooks a certain part of the process, then I know he's doing it for his own agenda, for other reasons. Wouldn't that make sense to you, bro?
Yeah, of course. But look at this though. That he can't get back what he already. You can't recover what already been lost.
What do you mean by that?
In this instant, you can't go back. You can't go back and get a boy mental treatment. Now you can't go back and buy him off the train or put him on a list that haven't been done already. He dead now. He was killed on the train. He was literally killed on the train. Now me, I think. Let me say this. Let me qualify myself on this subject. The fact that it happened on the train, I'm a train operator here in one of the worst transit systems in the country, man.
In DC, yes, it is. It's bad.
In terms of the people that we got to deal with, man, it's some more shit. It's just, I mean, it's horrific, man. You know, I be operating the train some days, man. I have jokers coming to the door, man, kicking the door, trying to get in, talking about what they're gonna do to me. And all this
you shouldn't have to deal with that.
I'm prepared to defend myself.
And you shouldn't have to deal with that.
I deal with this shit, man, almost on a daily basis. The only way that I don't deal with it on a daily basis because I have picked an assignment on my job to kind of seclude me from that type of shit as much as possible. You follow what I'm saying? But that still don't diminish my concerns and shit for my coworkers and
so let me ask you something.
Friendships with and things of that nature.
Let me ask you something,
brother. But I see a lot of mental illness, man.
Let me ask you something.
Every day, all day, every day with this shit.
I got you. Let me ask you something. You sound like you could answer this and give us a real genuine answer. Let me ask you this, since you work in the train system and stuff. Now, how do you feel about this young man being on the top 50 list in New York of train assault? He's on a list that the police created that he causes havoc on the trains, and he's on the top 50 list. Do y'all have a list like that in DC that somebody can get on?
Yeah, we got a list. I think all train
all train
have a list.
Institutions have a list of people that are assaulting people and that are bad for business, right? What do y'all do about it?
But
why
look
do
at
they
this though? You know this probably better than me. There's a political agenda associated with how they execute that list. And what I mean by that is this. You got Metropolitan Transit Authority, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are the armed policemen, federal policemen, whatever they is, that pose to do the system. Okay? They pose the police to system. And then you have the Metropolitan Police Department for the DC, Washington, DC, Maryland, and Virginia as a whole. What they do, they get them to handle these situations, but they are not there. And the reason why they do this is so they can keep the crime statistics and shit like that down, the arrests and shit like that down, so that it won't shock the public or prevent the public from using
They do that in Cincinnati too. Our city council directs certain crimes not to be seen or heard about, and so it won't be a threat on the downtown business district of the bars and all that old place. They're trying to keep the numbers of assaults and crime down and act like they not happening when they truly are. And then and then guess what, Matt? When something happened, everybody want to act shocked and surprised, like that shit never happens here. When in fact, be honest, bro, the shit is happening every day. Is it or is it not?
It's happening all day, every day. I tell you, I give you one better than that. You had a police, you had a Metro Transit police officer, good brother, man. I always speak to you and all that. I've been there. I've been a train operator since 2000. I watched this, and this is why I don't exclude race. I watched them transform from being a lily white police organization to now predominantly so-called black, right?
Right.
And I watched the whole mindset change. The police now, they come and speak to you. They come up to the window. When you stick your head up the train door and shit to close them or open them, man, you all right, man, you having issues today. You get anybody punch you up on any con, tell you something messed up on the train, whatever. Nah, man, I'm good. You ain't had that when it was lily white. They wouldn't even fucking speak to you. Now you had so now you got more brothers and sisters on the force that share the same views that we are shared in far as protecting our family and our peoples and shit, right?
I understand.
You had one policeman, real cool brother. He literally fucked one of them young dudes up. I think he wasn't no juvenile. He probably was about 19 or 20. Same type of situation with the boy getting choked out and killed in New York, but he just whooped him. Got all in his face. What you gonna do? And then you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't authorized to lock me up. Woo this, woo that. Smooched the police. Police fucked him up. Police got 10 years for that, man.
I thought police didn't go to jail.
Police is walking around with their hands in their pocket.
Right.
They ain't fuck with nobody. So the issue ain't with them. The issue is with the politicians or whoever setting these rules and shit like that. We're coming at them doing what they supposed to be doing.
Bruh, you have an unbelievable valid point, and you are absolutely right. Let this truck go by. Got a trash truck going by. He making some noise. You're absolutely right. And this is what you get when you vote for shit. When you vote for people who have agendas to make it soft on crime, it's just a matter of time before the police start putting their hands in their pocket, stop touching people, stop making people, just allowing people to be as crazy as they want to be. And then when they start getting on trains and start assaulting people, and there's no police help or there's nobody around to help them, or you allowing somebody that got 44 contacts with the court, a bunch of assaults, and nobody's here to enforce these laws, you start taking things in your own hands. That's just
you have to.
That's what some people do.
But there's still a limitation.
It is.
That's my point, man.
So let me ask you something, Matt. Let me ask you something, bro. Because I know I can hear your accent. You are from DC, and you've been there. How long you been there? Your whole life?
All my life.
Okay, you sound like it. You sound just like Barry Hunter and all the dudes that I mess with out in DC. All right. So look, let me ask you this, bro. I was in Atlanta a month ago with my family. Did you hear that story that I gave?
I'd have killed them.
Okay, so you heard what I did, but I didn't do nothing. I just backed up my family and I let him know, and I took control. Now, what if I would have took control and said everything I said? Because I'm going to tell you something, bro. I took control because I know how crazy people are. I let him know I ain't the one. Don't come up on my family. Don't do this, blah, blah, blah. I kept going. My wife didn't understand it. She didn't get what I was doing. She didn't understand the whole process, but I had to take control. Now, I didn't put my hands on him. But what if he would have got triggered by the things that I said and he would have rushed me after I did and said what I said? See, now I got to fight this dude. Now I might have had to grip him and put him in some type of lock before he locked me up, before he do something
Slam
to me.
Him to the ground and hit his head and die.
Exactly. So now let me ask you, without having any information of what happened that day, here come my wife and them. Whatever happened to we need all the information before we start making judgment calls of what we would do or what we should have done and all that old shit.
But it's hard for me to answer that because just based on what I know about you, I would have had to take your word for it. Your integrity ain't in question.
Well,
you feel what I'm saying? Your honesty and integrity is not in question with me.
And I appreciate
a lot of your viewers share that same view. So you would have had some form of defense.
Yes.
If it would have just came from, nah, man, I know Mr. Wyatt. He ain't on no shit like that.
Exactly, bro.
You feel me?
Exactly. But we haven't heard from the Marine. We don't know what his record is. We don't know how he may have had to defend himself. We don't know if he was talking to the young man before he did all of what he did. Maybe he did the same. Maybe the Marine did exactly what I did and talked this young man, tried to talk him down, and it didn't work. And the man may have rushed this Marine, and he did what I would have done if he would have rushed me. I mean, we don't know that information, but yet we trying to make this man guilty. Here's what I'm saying is wrong about that whole situation, Matt. We don't know because we're not privileged to hearing the interviews of the people that were on the train who described the situation. And if you take it to a grand jury, we would have that information before charges were even charged. You could take that information to a grand jury and see if you want to press charges. Why didn't he do that? Why not take the real information to a grand jury and decide if the grand jury says there's enough evidence here to get a conviction of that crime? Why not use the proper perspective, the proper way of doing things? Why did he go against the grain, against normal course, just to be able to charge this man? He only charging him what I'm saying here. I'm not saying that he shouldn't charge him. You hear me, man? I'm not saying that he shouldn't charge him. I'm saying give us the information of what you're charging. Don't charge him just off of the fact that the man died. Charge him off the information that everybody on the train said what happened. Because guess what? If I would have choked my man out in Atlanta a month ago, I would have had several people, including my family, who could have testified that man rushed his family and he was defending his family. We ain't heard no testimony from anybody. We haven't heard anything from anybody other than the fact that somebody had a video camera showing this man choking him out. There's no reason why. There's no other testimony. There's 2 other people holding him down. So if you charge the man that choked him, you better be charging the other 2 if you just gonna be charging.
They had accessory too. I'm just saying, from what I saw of the video, it just looked like the shit went a scream, man, because it's, you know. But
you know, Matt.
It looked like this cracker was on some MMA shit or something like that.
Okay, but Matt, you know videos don't tell the story, bro. Remember the dude in Michigan who got shot 7 times in the back? That video showed that they just shot that man for nothing, didn't it? But there was a whole lot of story to that situation. Exactly, bro. The video, listen, I don't even watch video. I listen to video. If video has audio, the audio is more important than what you see on the camera. And people just don't look at it that way. But see, everybody not really, look, man, I'm not trying, look, I went to school to understand certain situations. I know how to dissect these situations, okay? I'm not suggesting that everybody should look at it the way I look at it. But don't get mad at me because my perspective is not the same as yours when we're not dissecting the same animal here. That's not fair. Like I tell everybody.
And I know, and I can't because, you know, my views, the view that I have regarding this, and I'm be straight up honest, and I think I can speak for most of the people with conditions that we seeing with the Breonna and with the George Floyd and shit like that. You know where I'm at with this whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's personally, that's where I'm at. You know, fuck him, charge him, and let him prove that he didn't intentionally kill this man. Fuck him, you're a cracker. That's me.
Well,
that's where I'm at.
I get it. From your past experiences in life.
That's where I'm at.
You wasn't born just thinking that way. Something had to happen in your life for you to be on that defense like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's how I am about certain situations too. But here's my thing, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. One of the reasons, look, man, I'm a methodical thinker, Matt. I promise to God. One of the reasons that I did not do something to that man in Atlanta is one of the reasons I didn't do anything because I know I'm a black man and I know I might have been looked at different if I would have put hands on this white boy and something would have happened to him. I'm just being honest with you. I can't take the risk of losing my family because of something that I did on the defense end. You know, I can't take that risk. Now, the only way I would have taken that risk is if I would have seen that he had a weapon and that for me, it don't really take a weapon. But as a black man, I really have to take a real hot, even second to think about what I'm going to do before I do it because things might be different for me if I'm put in a certain situation.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I mean, people don't want to face that, but it's the truth. I'm in Atlanta. I don't know how the DA work down there. I don't know how the police going to see me when they pull up and they see that this man laying out because of some shit I did. I don't know. So I got to think about all of that in 1 second before I make a move.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Matt, I appreciate you calling, man. Thanks for bringing all that knowledge. Man. Thanks for bringing that knowledge to us, brother. I'm going to move on because I'm working up on the hour here. Hey,
appreciate you big time. Ain't got nothing but love for you, man.
Same here, bro. Nothing but love. You stay safe in D.C., man.
Best of care, man.
All right, brother. Great call. Great call. Metcalf is from DC, man. I love my DC brother. That's the chocolate city. You heard what he said. I don't agree when he said he's a white, he a cracker, fuck him. I mean, you know, I understand where he's coming from, but that's why I wanted to explain to you, like, you know, sometimes we feel the way we feel because of the things we've been through. So I understand. I ain't knocking nobody because of how they feel. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is CK from Cincinnati, man.
What's good,
Cincinnati
CK?
King, like
What?
yourself, brother.
Hey, does CK stand for Cincinnati Kid?
Cincinnati King. You know they ain't listening to this show, man. I say this is good. Listen, you did the right. I got to tell you, this show today, Friday, you killed them. Because, like you said, you thought it all the way through. And then I'm thinking the whole time while you tell a story, he African American. You say, nope, Caucasian.
No, it was a white dude.
Yeah. So you did de-escalation is salvation. Now you can feed your family because, like you said, even if you defending your family's honor, your honor, all you're going to be labeled is as a killer. It don't matter what you done accomplish. So you did the right thing, Mr. Wyatt. You did the right thing. De-escalate. Don't fight. Don't nothing. Dr. King.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Non-violence.
Yeah,
but like the words you said was so powerful. He knew not to rush you. So that's why I think you got to be the best attorney. If I ever was in like a fight for my life in legal situation, I'm gonna use somebody like you because you know how to make people think in your terms. Like, hold on, let's be rational, sir.
Well, let me say this before you give me too much credit. I'm just gonna be honest. Let me just say that I appreciate it. But let me just say the tactic that I use. I didn't use a legal tactic. What I used more was like what the police do. And that is this. I was in a bad situation. I was in a situation of was being threatened, or my family and myself were being threatened. So what I did is I used the tactic of taking charge of the situation by over talking and becoming the aggressor and trying to back somebody down. And that's exactly what the police do when they show up to a scene. That's training. They're trained to be that way. Some people think they're there to be an asshole, but what happens is when you're dealing with people, you have to sometimes take control. And that's and if anybody disagree with what I'm saying, ask the police.
You're aggressive on the conversation, like you over.
Yes.
Like, hold on,
yes.
Listen, you about to hear what I got to say.
Exactly.
You did them like that.
And what happens is this, CK, that don't work on everybody. Because let's say, for instance, when I became the aggressor over the aggressor down in Atlanta on this guy who rushed my family, if I would have got aggressive and been, in my conversation, he could have maybe tried to trump that and come over the top and now rush me or do some things that this story could be totally different if that tactic didn't work. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I might have had to choke him out. Now I might have had to defend myself from some shit that he had in his back pocket. I don't know. But the tactic worked. Let's say that the guy. But
your integrity, remember your integrity.
But wait a minute.
In the words you was telling them, that's what hit him. That's what made him not doing it. You had meaning behind the words you were saying.
Bruh, my integrity was out the window. I was not I had no integrity. I had to go to 1335 John Street when he did that bullshit. You feel me? I had to tell him like
that's your integrity.
Well, okay.
He know it's gonna get real now. Now he like, oh, do I really want to face what this man is willing to bring? Well, that's integrity. He like, he for real. He gonna make me. I think I want to hurt him. No, he about to destroy me right here now.
That's what you got to bring to the table when somebody bringing this shit to the dinner. You got to serve them. You got to return to serve. You got to return to serve. So that's what I did. Now, CK, it easily could have went bad for me that day. He could have been like, oh, no, you ain't about to do that shit to me. Hell no. And guess what? I could be the one you talking about instead of the Marine on the train. You could be talking about Wyatt down on Peachtree. You see what I'm saying? Y'all could be like, well, he didn't have to do that to that man. That man didn't do nothing. He didn't have no weapon. He didn't have to do that. Nobody would have the information. Nobody would know exactly what happened, just like we don't know what happened on the train. We don't know if that Marine tried to talk that young man down first. But what we do know is this man got 44 contacts with the court of law. He's assaulted children on the train. He's on the top 50 of being a harmful person on the train. We do know that information. We do know that in order to get a charge put on this young man, I mean, in order for the DA to charge this Marine, is that he had to go through some obstacle of making the charge go on him. He didn't take it to a grand jury with testimony from people on the train and bring to the media and say, hey, well, we got testimony from the train rider saying that this young man, that man that choked him out, was doing Wyatt on him. He was doing everything he possibly could not to choke this man out. But this man pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. We ain't heard nothing like that. We ain't heard what happened in the situation. You know what we got? Everybody that got a problem with this only got a problem with it because they seen a video. And video don't say what happened before the video was cut on, and it don't say what the video don't tell you what happened after the video was cut off.
But okay, let me explain this, right? You being who you are, he being who he is, right? Mm-hmm. Same exact thing, like you said. Let's say it went down just like that in Atlanta with you, and now we got 2 cases. Even best case scenario, y'all, say you totally right what you're describing, and you beat the case. Just because of who you are, you will always be labeled a killer. That's the difference. He would be labeled a hero. He can go through all this, get not guilty. But because you defended yourself and because of your race, you're going to be labeled a killer. They're not going to even care what the reasons is.
Let me ask you something, CK.
So now all your thing, they're going to label you that.
Let me ask you something, CK. Do you think that this man who's the Marine, do we know if he was defending himself, or do we think that he just jumped in some shit he ain't had no business getting into?
That's a tough one.
It's a tough question because none of us know. I can't answer it either.
No, but I'm going to tell you what makes it so tough for me, because I know how offensive these harassers is on the public transportation.
And you know that if one of them tell you, CK, if you on the metro and you know that, okay, we got the metro in Cincinnati, we got this little bullshit ass rickety raggedy ass train down there too, but it ain't like it's nowhere near the type of train that they have in these bigger, larger cities. I'm in Brooklyn a lot, and I ride the subway, and I hate it. Okay, Brooklyn subways are dangerous. They fucking trash, okay? But let me just say this to you. You don't know what you would do, CK, if you was on one of these trains and somebody came on and threatened your life. You don't know what you would do when, in fact, you watch the Channel 9, Channel 12, Channel 2, Channel 5, Channel whatever news in your city where violence on the trains happen all the time. Now we got a bunch of people in all these different cities who don't hear what's going on in these cities. Like my man Metcalf just called from DC, said, I run the worst train in the city. I'm harassed every day. And we got a list of people. We got a list of people that can't, that shouldn't be on the trains, that's harassing people every day. This shit exists. Now, let me ask you, CK, if you are somebody do we know if this Marine had his family with him? Do we know if he had his daughter or his son with him that day? We have none of this information. We have no information about what this young man said. We do know what he said, and that was, I don't care what happened to me today. If I go to jail, I'll do the time. I don't even care if I die. Y'all giving it up. Y'all giving it up. I'm going to eat. I want me something to drink. We eat. I'm doing, bro, come on, man.
But please, let me tell you this, because I know 2 weeks before the death of the Marine, he was a Marine that got murdered, that died on the train?
No, the Marine is the one that killed him.
Oh, he wasn't a Marine. Oh, okay. So the civilian that got killed, right? Mm-hmm. 2 weeks before his murder in Chicago, you had a young man, looked like he was late 20s, maybe 30, right? Mm-hmm. And you got daughters and a wife. So I know you didn't see this because you would have covered it. He's on here trying to holler at these, they probably 15, 16, whatever, 14, whatever. He's trying to holler at them on the train. So like the little girls, they ignored him as they should. Like, as their parents raised them not to holler at no grown man. He gets irate, throws a tantrum, start talking to them like y'all sleeping with grown men anyway. Y'all out here stuck in boo, all that garbage nonsense. Then you see the girls, these are black girls. He's black, he's African American. So you see them getting a little uncomfortable. He said, so one of them Say, well, but you a rapist, you trying to rape. Yeah, I'm a rape your ass. I'll stand up. Then he start threatening their life, talking and raping them. So at that moment when I'm watching it, this is before this guy got killed in New York. So when I see that, I said if a dude would have walked up and shot him in the back of his head, he would have deserved it. Because he's threatening young girls.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They uncomfortable. Just imagine that was your daughters on the train getting harassed like that. A guy talking about murdering them and raping them in their face. Yeah. Now the whole train scared to do something because he said, and in this diatribe, he mentioned that he was strapped. See? So that put the fear, like you might not want to do nothing with him because he said he got a gun on him.
Right. Right. Well,
so
look, man.
Did you hear about that case?
No, I haven't heard about that. I'll look it up though.
Yeah.
But see, that's the type of stuff. That's the type
thinking,
of stuff
watching
that happens.
I'm thinking like, look, this dude deserved to die. And then I see that happen. So I was so torn because I just seen the worst kind of harassment ever. That's what tore me. Because I'm like, yeah, he deserved to die, even if it wasn't self-defense. Talking to little girls like that.
CK, let me just be honest with you, bro. And people are not gonna make me. I'm not gonna be highly favored for saying this shit right now. The only reason why this is a case, bro, the only reason why people acting like they care, bro, is because this happened to be a white man that choked a black man out. If it would have been another brother, a Marine black man who choked out that same little black Michael Jackson dude, nobody would even fucking care. No one would care. No one would have the same energy. You know why? Because they don't give that same energy when black kids shoot other black kids. They don't come out and be in the middle of the streets. The same folks are not in the middle of the street down in Memphis when them young boys shot up that 15-year-old party. They're not in the streets saying, stop this violence. Let's stop these people. We need to send them kids, these 14 and 13 and 15-year-olds. We need to send them to jail right away. None of them 14 and 15 and 16-year-old little kids in that party deserve to get shot up like that.
Yeah.
We only go in the
you got to admit, though, if you had acted and took a life, you got to understand now they got you where they always wanted you since downtown, since the address in downtown you was talking about. Now you are at the mercy of the law. Now they finally got you. So that's what I'm saying. You did the best thing by staying out of the court system because, like you said, you in Atlanta, they could ruin your life. And now you got to pay all these tremendous court fees. And you could, even if you beat the case, they could, financially break you with you fighting for your life.
Absolutely. But at the same
time, you're a black man, so that's the difference between you getting charged and him getting charged.
So wait a minute. So what are you saying, CK? Are you saying that this man is not going to have to fight for his life now? The Marine is a white dude. So now he got a lawyer up. He turns himself in this morning. He has to lawyer up and fight a murder case. We don't know what his money look like. He's a Marine. He ain't making a whole lot of money.
Right. You're right. The same thing, but I'm saying, but your color would be you because you're so accomplished.
So you saying that I would have got charged
down as a black man, like, look, we got us another one. He was a good one too.
But CK,
we glad he got in that little. We glad that white boy harassed him and his family.
Hold on, CK. So in other words, you think that if I would have done it, I would have been charged because I'm black.
Yep.
So now they charged him and he's white. But we done the same thing. So what do you? I mean, I'm trying to understand the point.
Yeah, but you said they charged him out of pressure. You wouldn't have got charged out of pressure. You would have just got charged on procedure.
Oh, for real? You know that?
You just said the only reason he got charged is because of pressure from the Al Sharptons.
Yeah. That's true. So you're saying that there wouldn't have been any pressure on charging me?
No, Al Sharpton wouldn't have been at them trying to.
Why not?
Trying to get you a charge.
Why does Al Sharpton come in? Well, wait a minute. Why would Al Sharpton only want to come in and pressure them because of somebody different than me? All right, Mindy, take it easy. Why would Al want to come in and make sure that I get dealt with? I mean, the white dude get dealt with and not me. Why does that matter?
Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, why does it matter? That's the chaos agent shit I'm talking about. Why do we only care and why do our leaders only come up and fight when somebody else do something to us? Why don't they come out in the streets and say we need to stop these 15-year-olds from shooting our Sweet 16 parties? Why aren't they in the streets talking about that? Why aren't they making sure those guys go to jail for killing black people?
Do you think it's fear?
No, it's chaos agent. It's pimp shit. It ain't fear. He know that if it'd end him if he came out and said something against black folks that's doing something to black folks. He know it'd end him. But let's be honest. Is there more black people doing shit to black people out here, or white people doing shit to black people? Be honest with yourself on that, CK.
No, okay, but I think
I'm asking you a question.
I think it's more out of fear that you acknowledge. I really do.
But I'm asking you a question. Do black people do more stuff to each other out here, or we? Or,
yes.
Oh, you say yes?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes,
why
no
aren't
doubt,
our leaders trying to stop the blacks from doing shit to each other versus the things that other people doing to us? I mean, I think that's a legitimate question.
Yeah, and I think you're right, because like I'm with you. I'm Team Wyatt with your analogy on that.
But I don't even want to be right,
because I do believe they have the power to do it. Because when we talk to guys our age group, they always tell you we can't stop the violence, and that's part of being a chaos agent. Of course, if you believe in your heart we can't stop it, we're not gonna stop it. But if I believe I can stop it, if Wyatt believes we can stop it, we can stop it. But you not believing it is you saying being a chaos agent, only speaking when we get killed by the other side, but not speaking when we get killed.
You're right,
by
CK.
each other.
And CK, to be honest
like
with you, bro,
we acknowledge, yes, if the black on black violence need to be addressed.
And let me just be honest with you, CK. I don't want to be right about that. I don't want you to be right about it. We on the same page on that, and I'm sorry that we're right, but it's right. And it's wrong that we're right. But damn it, that's the truth. Al Sharpton don't say a damn word. None of these leaders. Where are all these people that was in the street for this white dude choking out this black? It's got to be about white and black. That's the only reason why this is a subject. If this would have been a black man that choked out another black kid down in the transit system, everybody would be talking about mental illness, and these kids need to be checked in, and we need to be working on this. His criminal record will all come into play, and that'll be the reason why they don't want to charge the black dude. Because they'll be like, oh man, that's the village taking over. See, that's what we can't do what we do to our kids anymore. That's what they would be saying. But the simple fact that this DA, this district attorney who's super weak, had a phone call come in from Al Sharpton, a phone call come in from AOC, the Latino lady in New York. The only reason why he's charging this man, it's not based on the evidence. It's not based on a merit case. It's based on the fact that he's getting pressure from black and Latino leaders in that community who don't step up for the black people who get assaulted by black people. They don't try to send black people who doing things to black people to jail. They don't step up and ask for the maximum sentences to the menaces to society in those communities. They don't step up for that. And here's my thing. When you do stuff like that, you're doing your community a disservice, because now you asking for this white dude to get prosecuted, but yet you're not using, you're using manipulative prosecution. That's what you're doing. You're not asking for the real evidence to be brought forward. You just want this man to be prosecuted because it's a bad look. It just don't look right. But in fact, we don't know, because they won't let it come forward. They won't let us hear the real evidence they have. All they got is a video that's showing this man getting choked out. There's no audio to it. We don't know what happened before the camera came on. We don't know if this man was truly defending himself. We don't even know if this man may have snapped. I'm going to give Fane Rothstein the benefit of the doubt. How we know we don't have two crazy people sitting there fighting each other?
Now you being who you are, like you say, when it go down, combat skills, do you think we as people, we naturally go to death? Like when you fighting a guy, you start thinking about killing him or him killing you?
Nope. I think most people that fight don't even want to fight. I think the only fighters we got in this country are people that go in the ring. I think your normal citizen that get into a fight, I'm talking about the average person. I ain't talking about a street dude. Most street dudes don't really want to fight. That's why they shooting shit.
Hell no.
They don't really want to fight. Come on, man.
No, they don't want to fight. Get embarrassed out there.
We are not a barbaric civilization. We really aren't. People say that shit and they talk all that shit, but we really aren't. Because how many people have you seen go in front of a judge and get charged with murder, and then when they found guilty and convicted, they bust out and cry?
But if you would have attacked that white man, murder would have been on your mind, because all you're gonna be thinking like, motherfucker, I'll kill you. Threaten my brain while you fighting.
Listen,
so that's because you defended so much.
Listen,
So
man.
now it is life or death.
Listen, CK. Here's some real facts for you. That shit that happened to me in Atlanta, if that man, that crazy dude, would have said to me, "I'll kill you and your family right here and right now," this would be a different situation that we talking about right now. If he would have threatened with that launch and some words came after what I said to him, if he would have said, "I'll kill you, I'll kill your family, I'll do your daughter dirty, I'll do it, I'm gonna do him before he even get a chance to do what he said he was gonna do."
Now, have you ever? Now, I'm gonna say this for myself, and I'm gonna ask you the same question. Have you ever threatened anyone with violence? Because I have never. I always thought that was a
CK trying to get me sent to
make
jail.
threats. I never threatened nobody ever in life.
Man, you trying to get me in the joint? You trying to send me to jail?
No, I'm just saying. Have you ever threatened to like I'll beat you? I'm talking about any kind of threat. Like, man, when I see you, I'm gonna smack you.
Of course.
I never make any threats because I think that's a soft move. Because now I don't even really believe you. Like, why would you say it? You would do it. So I was wondering, like, have you ever like, man, next time I see you, I'm gonna smack you or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you don't believe in threats?
No. Let me tell you what. When I was a young man, see, I live off that same principle. I turn my back on guys that threaten me to my face like that. Now, look, you got to understand. I know exactly what you're saying, CK. There was a dude I had to deal with who was a professional. He was a beginning professional boxer, but he was a bully in the streets. Okay, he was a bully in the streets. He bullied motherfuckers and this and that. And I knew from how I grew up that most bullies just talk shit. They ain't gonna swing. They ain't gonna do nothing. So he said all this shit about, man, I'll fuck you up. Now, I'm much older than him. But I could see right in his eyes, like, bro, you ain't really gonna do shit. And how I disrespect people that say what they gonna do is I turn my back on them. It's no different than when I seen Will Smith smack Chris Rock. See, a motherfucker that has no respect for you and know that you ain't gonna do nothing back, they don't punch you. Because a punch, if you punch a man, you think that he gonna punch back. But when you slap a motherfucker, you smacking them to stand them still. Like you smack them and you know they ain't gonna do shit because you know they a bitch. I mean, don't that make sense to you, CK? I mean, I know this kind of like some street shit, but it's the truth. If you punch a motherfucker, you expect he gonna be punching back. That's just called a fight. If you smack a motherfucker, that's why when men smack women, they smack them knowing there's no retaliation coming back. It's a settlement. It's like how white men back in the days of the slavery would smack men. They would smack them. They would never, because they knew that no retaliation was coming back because they knew better. They would smack them. They would never punch them. And just like when men smack women, I'm sorry to say this, but I got to use it as an analogy. When you smack a man, you know you already have an advantage. You bitch snapping them. You understand what I'm saying? That's
right.
So this kid who told me what he was gonna do to me, I turned my back on him. That's the same form of me telling him in my kind of way. That was me slapping him in his head, slapping him in his mouth, like, Nick, you ain't gonna do nothing to me. See, that's OG shit. Like, now, if he was like the dude in Atlanta, I didn't turn my back on him. I seen a different look in his eye. I seen that he could possibly do something. And that's how I knew that if he would have said something like what this man on the train could have possibly said, if he would have said, "I kill you and your family, I'll go to jail tonight. I don't care if I die." If he would have said that to me, bro, I would have drug his ass in the street. I would have drugged him, or he would have had to do something to me.
What happened though? Why? What jumped on? What was going on?
Well, long story short, CK, for those that don't know, when I was in Atlanta, my family and I was coming out of this little restaurant across the street from our hotel. And as we was getting to the stops, you get to the crosswalk. We was walking. As we got to the crosswalk, this white dude, homeless, because I could tell he had on blue jeans and no shirt. You know what I mean? And he was stuffing this garbage bag under the trees by the stoplight. That's where he was putting his shit for the day. Okay, I understand the game. I know what street people look like, homeless. So I guess what happened is my daughter must have looked at him crazy. She didn't say anything, but my daughter is 17 at that time. She hadn't turned 18 yet. This just happened a month ago. So he was stuffing his shit under the trees. And my daughter must have looked at him, and he said something to my daughter, and I turned around, and I'm like, what? And he was like, what the fuck? What? What you mean? What? And he started jumping. And when he jumped, He was jumping towards my daughter, so I put my arm on my daughter and moved her behind me. And my wife was standing there when I grabbed her with my other arm and was like, "What? What? What's going on? What you doing?" And he was like, "What the fuck?" And he started talking. He started blowing up, and his chest got bigger and bigger, and his eyes got bigger and bigger. So I'm like, "Whoa!" I put my family behind me, and I'm like, "What we doing? What we doing? But you don't want no problems." And so I start doing that one thing, start trying to take control of the situation. And to be honest with you, bro, if that man would have said, "I'm gonna kill y'all, I'm gonna kill your family, fuck y'all," if he would have said anything other than, if he would have said anything threatening outside of him jumping us, I had to put hands on him. That's just how it go.
Yeah.
Now,
You
what if I
you
would have?
ready to die threatening the man like that? If you say something like
So
that,
why?
you
How
ready to
do
die.
we know that somebody on that train who ended up killing this kid, this man who had assaults on his record, who then already put his hands on people before? How do we know that he didn't push the button of somebody? And how do we know that he didn't threaten this man to the point that'll get him killed?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have.
Right. Okay, you make a great point, man.
Nobody's thinking of that. Everybody's saying, "Oh, he deserved to go to jail because he put his hands on that man." Nobody deserves to go to jail just for making people feel uncomfortable. Wait a minute. If this man in Atlanta would have put his hand, if he would have charged me and said something threatening to me and my family, that's making me uncomfortable. I don't deserve to retaliate on a motherfucker that's making me feel that way, who's literally threatening my family's life.
Man, I guarantee if that was your kids that was on that subway that black man was harassing, you would be looking for him right now.
Hey,
He threatened them little girls so bad that you would be like, he got to get off the street. He got to be gone. It's so bad when you heard him, you was like, all that damn Chicago violence, y'all ain't killed this fool yet. Right. That's how bad it was. So that's what made it complex when I seen him strangling that dude, because I'm like, I was looking at him like, what if he was the guy, the dude doing that? You know what I mean? Because that's exactly. The guy I say, even to this day, he deserved to die for what he's saying to the little girl.
But let me say this, CK. What we don't know about this dude that got choked out on the train, we don't know what he actually did other than make some comments. We don't know if there were children on the train. We don't know if the mother, we don't know anything other than the fact that it took 3 men to hold this guy down. Now, if this guy was just being a vigilante and was just trying to kill somebody for nothing, don't you think he could have did that on his own? Why did 2 other dudes have to jump in if this guy wasn't strong or wasn't doing something that was threatening everybody?
You got a point.
If you on an airplane and somebody grab a knife on the airplane and say, "I'm taking this motherfucking airplane hostage, everybody on here gonna die." If it don't take, if you think only one man gonna step up and fight this man on the plane, 30,000 feet in the air, only one man gonna go jump on this dude? Hell no. Every man that's a man gonna step up and rush this dude, and they gonna kick his motherfucking ass on that airplane.
Yeah, we looking at it through racial lines. You making a good point that we all looking at it through racial lines.
The only reason why they charging
reality goggles.
Exactly. The only reason why they charging this man is because you got that same punk ass, weak ass district attorney, Alan Briggs. You got him charging because Perm in the suit, Al Sharpton called, and AOC called, and now they said days after they done skipped the whole grand jury process and gonna just charge the man, just a virtual signal to show y'all I'm doing my job. Charging. Now, there's a price for paying for doing business that way. Now you got to get a conviction, and you're gonna look like a dumbass when all these witnesses come forward and tell you exactly what this young man did to deserve to get choked like that. Now, I'm not saying that he should have got choked. I'm saying I need to hear the evidence of what may have put him in that situation, because a month ago, I could have choked the motherfucker out and none of y'all would really know exactly what he did because you wasn't there.
Yeah. Like what? So what color is the prosecutor?
He's black.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
And all he did was get a phone. Listen, bro, all you got to do is interview the people that were on the train, and that will determine. The witnesses and everybody that gives statements are the ones that are going to determine the severity of did this young man deserve to be choked out? Was he threatening? What was it that made this man go to that extreme, and what made him get jumped by 3 dudes? So
Yep.
if you on an
And
airplane,
that's facts too. That's evidence that it was three. Like you said, it's different if it's just one, but when you see three, that's
then
evidence
you
that
could say one man.
what happened
If
prior.
if it was an isolated situation where this one man jumped up and choked this kid out, I would say, well, whoa, why didn't anybody else jump up and help if he was so dangerous? But we looking at the fact that three guys had to assist. Two guys had to assist this man holding this man down. And this is not a guy who's not used to being on these trains. He's on the top 50 of who to watch out for on the trains.
But that's your problem, Mr. Wyatt. See, you can't be bought. You can't be bought. See, you don't need the handouts from those people. You self-made. So, like you said, when you can be bought, then your perspective change, your agenda. You have an agenda. Like you said, then it's like the white supremacist method and all that. Like you said, Reverend Sharpton has been bought and paid for. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's how they
Like the
make their
Black
money,
Lives
bro.
Matter organization. It's bought and paid for.
Yeah, that's
They
how
have
they
an
make their
agenda.
money.
They don't truly care about black lives. They only care about black lives when a white person kills them.
Right. And that's how they make their money, man. And see, I call them out. And people don't like me for that, but that's okay. I don't give a shit. I mean,
Because you don't make your money like that. You make your money off of your self made, like off of your inner self.
Yeah,
So
well,
you know what I mean? You don't rely on. See, if you relied on other people, then you would have to go along with the bullshit,
yeah,
with the chaos agents.
like if I had a paycheck for doing this show, I'd have to do whatever the people that sign my check tell me to do, right?
You
I mean,
sponsored by yourself.
there
So
you
you got to
go.
listen to what you sell yourself.
You know what? Here's the thing. When you self-sufficient, you can be self-wrong. You can be self-right. You can just be selfish. You can be to yourself. You can talk to yourself. It's all about self, right? I don't mean to be rude or nasty, but I'm not bought. Like you said, I can be as real as I want to be. I can tell the truth. The only people that
Because you
don't
on the
like me,
justice side, you talking justice. You're not talking racial. You talking justice. Like, okay, let's play this game. If this law, y'all want to speak law, let's talk justice. So now you taking the racial element out because you're not bought and paid for. You just doing it from human. Because remember, I said if you was black and white, but you said, hold on, put yourself in the white guy's shoe. I can put myself in Wyatt's shoe, but put yourself in the white guy's shoe.
absolutely.
Do
CK,
he deserve justice or not?
I'm coming up on the hour. I gotta go, bro.
Yeah,
But
man.
let me
Thanks for
say
talking
this.
to me, man.
Let me say this.
Have a great
Let
weekend.
me
Much
say
love to everybody, man.
let me say this to you, CK, before you go though. I'm gonna say this. It's gonna sound kind of harsh, but it's the truth. It ain't about you. It's about those that get those checks from the white radios and the white podcasts and the white the white industry. Okay, the white industry of media. Let me just say this to you. Being self-sufficient means I can tell the truth. You don't find it odd that Al Sharpton gets a check signed by a white man? Y'all don't find it to be odd that the reason why they put that media shit, everybody that talked that shit from the media in, all get checks signed by white media executives. So I find it to be a little weird that they always talking all that chaos agent shit, and there's a reason why they do it, because they get paid to do it. And there's a reason why you get paid to keep people in they place. And the way you keep people in their place is you got to keep them angry so they'll never think proper. Do you understand what I'm saying, CK? You like the boxing game, right? You like the fight game because you talk about it a lot. Let me tell you something, CK. The first thing you do in combat is you get in his mind. When you make somebody want to hurt you, you have already won half the battle. When you get somebody off their game and make them angry and mad all the time, they get off their game plan. When you hit them real hard, that make them want to hit you harder. When you talk nasty, that make them angry at you. So think about it. Why do our leaders want to keep putting stuff in our face to make us angry? Because they get checks by people who put them in them places to keep you angry. That goes for black radio. I don't know. Look at black radio and how it's run today. They might have a black owner, but guess who they got in management? White people.
Yep.
No offense to my white listeners. I'm just being real with you. All right, CK, I gotta go, bro. That's my time for the day.
Gavin Haney. Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Nothing but love. Peace and love. Have a great
All right.
weekend, CK. That's CK. He's out. Let me say this before I step up out of here. I appreciate it. I survived the rain, and I'm still here. But I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers this weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, and much love to you. And if you don't make it to the 5 o'clock show this evening, I'll see you Monday. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. This is Wyatt. I'm out. Thanks for coming to the remote. I'm outside the Wyatt estate. They're working on the studio. I don't know. It might be done by this afternoon. Maybe we'll use it in the afternoon. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you at 5.
I'll always be there for you. I'll never betray you. I love you, baby.
I'm at the Uptown on Dykeman, the Iten, talking that how she only dealt with businessmen. Niggas bagging joints, money off and on the books. The ones who stand firm like ain't nothing shook about them. I doubt them cats waiting for me, you know them niggas. Them big dudes across the street, she said yeah. They from over on Mayfair, bullets from out of nowhere. Told her stay there and duck down. I hit the ground but managed to pull the piece out. This bitch over there with them pointing the chief out. They want beef out here, they gon' get it in the worst way. I'ma show them how black play, roll the dice. Fucking with me's like snake eyes, I break guys. Sit back and watch my cake rise. It's all about the Benjamins, true, that be the motto. Ran out of ammo and started throwing bottles, running, and I ain't looking back for shit. Crooked ass bitch, today I get you back for this.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
That's right.
I'll never betray you. I love you, baby.
Come on.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
Yo, since the last altercation, I've been on the street. See honey at the peak, I'ma rock that ass to sleep before I strike. I ain't know the real deal until last night. How one of them brothers was locked with Babe Bro. Used to call my crib from C74. Kick rhymes over the phone for hours. He had the jack. Babe Bro told him, you wanna get money, see black when you get home. We never had chance to get up, and wouldn't have. If it's gonna left me hit up, he'd explain how his whole crew was slapping honey. Besides all that, she owed them cats a lot of money. Funny how it's a small world, baby girl. You's about to get fucked with no jail. I'ma sit back and watch this cake finish baking and plan your extermination. Word.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
That's right.
I'll never betray you. I love you, baby.
Come on.
I love you, baby.
No, you don't.
You drive me crazy.
That's right.
I'll never betray you. I love you, baby.
It took a while to peep your style, Miss I being working low profile, single. House in Staten Island, I'm in Manhattan, wow. Them same cats you sent to get me, boo, is on their way to get you, fucking with you. That small time crack dealing nigga, he a bitch too. They gon' bust his shit too, shit's real. You think you gon' set me up and get away scot-free without some type of injury? Nah, kill it. I'ma flip the script on you. Same thing you did to me, I'ma do it to you. Who knew she was the female Rambo? Fill one of they chests with foam soon as he came in the door. Lights was out, smoked all they mans in. In the end, she had to be the last bitch standing. Not for long, the bar for 44 strong. Just like that, she was gone. Now it's over. Assuming I go back to my everyday life of a rich millionaire just rocking the mic. Gotta pause and think about honey, no doubt. And admire how that chick went out. Yeah.